Ronin Pro Wrestling here at Broward College South Gym in Pembroke Pines. The usual spot for Ronin. This is the Ronin heavyweight champion, Alex Chamberlain. And Alex has been around the world. Yeah, now we can say, hey, you've been around the world wrestling, so that's cool. Women's wrestling. Alex, let's first talk about why it is so popular today.
I think we're just seeing kind of a renaissance of women's wrestling. It's kind of gotten away from where it used to be more of a, how they looked, and making it more about physical looking aspect of women's wrestling.
Appearance.
Yeah, it was more appearance based, and now it's kind of come full circle back to when back in the 50s and 60s, women's wrestling was about ground and pound. It was the taking the time to tell the story. And with women's wrestling now, what you're seeing the women do is they're really putting the time into telling a good story. They're really using their bodies to physically display athleticism, but to actually physically tell a story with to the crowd. And that's where it differentiates, in my opinion, from men's wrestling. Men's wrestling is very much focused on athletic feats and dives and spots, where women are more about entertaining the audience with their bodies. They're telling a very basic story. They have characters. They take time to build the detail work into those characters. Each one stands out uniquely. That's why these women's companies are thriving, because they have so many personalities and so many different unique styles that they all don't mesh the same, and that's what makes wrestling so great, is because you have options to choose from. And now I feel like with a lot of men's wrestling, there's a lot of the same. You see a lot of guys doing a lot of the same cool stunts, and it's all awesome to see. You see a lot of guys wearing masks, and you see a lot of guys wearing capes now, and you see every dude has a beard. So there isn't as much diversity in men's wrestling, in my opinion. And women's wrestling is just leaps and bounds ahead of men in terms of telling a good story. Very much what pro wrestling is about. And so I think that's why it stands out.
Are they being trained differently? And by that, what I mean is, men have always outnumbered women as far as wrestling, and it still is, but the numbers are growing in women. The women would train with the men at the training facilities all around wherever they're training.
Sure.
Is the time, and they would train physically. I mean, the men wouldn't take it easy on them.
Oh, no doubt, yeah.
But what has changed, if anything has changed, in the training process for them?
Women are taking it more seriously. They're really taking the time to educate themselves. They're watching older material, I feel like, because you're seeing a lot more aggression in women's wrestling. You're seeing that's another thing I think that pro wrestling has lacked, is aggression. Real raw energy, and the way you deliver things needs to have that base of conviction and belief in order to get the crowd to get behind. And that they're taking their time to learn the details to really make stuff just look that much harder. They're hitting harder, I feel like, than guys are. They're just taking it to a whole nother level. I mean, I find myself being more drawn. Like, my favorite wrestler right now is Su Yung. Great character. Her stuff looks legit. Her punches look like they could drill a 6-foot man off his feet, knock him out cold. Just everything about her from head to toe is just, that girl's just a character, and she really truly believes in the undead bride. So she's my favorite wrestler, period, right now. And it's because she's taken the time to learn everything about it. And the women who are being trained right now, they have great mentors. They're being trained by men to work with men, but then they work with women. Their stuff just looks that much more snug and tight. It does give them that advantage. So.
And Alex, what do you see next for women's wrestling? Do you think there will be a time where we're going to see men and women wrestling against each other and taking it to that level, or no?
I think you'll always have somewhat of there, but because of the size discrepancy, maybe not on a national platform, but you definitely see on the independents, absolutely. Yeah, I mean, there are some women who have some decent size out there who could really hang with guys. I think you're going to see the breakthrough of a Glow on a national platform. I think that's what you're going to see, is a big national platform for a women's organization, strictly women's wrestling. I think that's what you're going to see.
But better wrestling,
right? Oh yeah,
than Glow.
Oh yeah, hands down, yeah. But I think Glow kind of gave America the taste of a national wrestling, what it would be like, and then now you're going to have these phenomenal athletes with these over-the-top, colorful characters telling an awesome story out there. So I think that's going to be the next big breakthrough in women's wrestling. So,
thank you, Alex.
Yeah, thank you.